Hello everybody, my name's Atley. Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my SnowRunner Hard Mode playthrough. As you can see, I'm in the S06E36 with a load of long logs that were loaded up in the previous episode, which I am going to take into Grainwoods River. I had intended taking them to the sawmill in Black Badger Lake, turning them into planks, but I realised when I was getting ready to do Grainwoods content that there is a sawmill in Grainwoods, so it's more efficient to move them as logs into Grainwoods, turn them into planks there, and then ferry them to where they're needed to make railway tracks. So that's what we're going to be doing to start this episode. So I've finished in the previous episode all of the activities on Black Badger Lake, except that I need to take in total 3 lots of long logs. This lot will be planks, and then the other 2 will be needed as long logs delivered to a task. And then I've also got 10 lots of planks left in the sawmill on this map that I will have to bring up probably the pike in 2 trips and ferry those 10 down 5 at a time. So I've got to do that. I'll be in and out of Black Badger Lake 3 more times after this one. But other than that, I'm finished with Black Badger Lake. And to that end, I have moved off camera all of the trucks except the Land Rover and the Azov down into Grainwoods so that I'm not backwards and forwards. And I'm just going to get on with moving these 2. I'm going to be a bit cheeky, chuck a rope on and take them both through at the same time. And then tow the Land Rover down to the garage. That should do it. That should take both because it's got a rope on. Crossing the map resets my time of day on the save, which I will use later on to skip through the night time. So yeah, the Land Rover is there. It came through good. So we're going to get these down to the garage area, drop the Land Rover off, and then I've got to think about fuel. But I can talk while I'm driving. Hopefully this Land Rover will behave. That's a fairly long tow rope because of the nature of the overhang on the trailer, I guess. But it should be okay. Put some lights on because it's still a little bit dark. For anybody who's watching on catch up, this next bit is a bit less relevant. But for anybody that's been watching in sort of real time as I release episodes, you will almost certainly know by now that this is the first episode I've recorded for 15 days since my last release. So I've had a bit of a gap, and I did put a community post there, but obviously not everybody subscribed. But had a couple of health challenges and nothing life-threatening. Not really. But basically what it comes down to is I was diagnosed diabetes type 2 about a month ago, and it's kind of come on a bit of a sudden onset thing, and I've had loads of tests and things to try and find out why it suddenly happened. And I've debated how much to talk about the medical stuff, but ultimately what it boils down to is I've been on some medication, and the combination of the effect of the fatigue that you get with diabetes plus the effects of the medication as my body was getting used to them made me feel quite unwell. And this all happened before the last episode, and I really wasn't happy when I was editing it with that last episode. I felt as I was editing it that my speech was a bit slurred, I was a bit incoherent, and I just wasn't happy, and I struggled. And hopefully it's not too bad the way that it came out as editing, but I haven't felt up to recording for a couple of weeks. And then I have good days, I have bad days, and today's a good day, so I thought, right, let's get on it and record. The movement of all of the trucks, I did actually record quite a lot of it, but it was a few days ago, and I just didn't feel that the recording was good enough to turn into a video and release. And it's only moving trucks, so it's not like it's missed any deliveries or real sort of proper content as such. I know some people like to see all of the background tasks, but in general, there's not really anything meaningful been missed. It's just me moving empty trucks from one map to another en masse. So I kind of feel alright about missing it out, but I also at the same time, yeah, little bit mixed feelings about it. But I feel good today, so I'm going to record. Now, I'm, from a schedule perspective, I'm recording this one. Oh, that's the land. Something still running. From a schedule perspective, I can't commit to the 3 a week I was doing before at the moment. I'm going to be taking it a day at a time. And if I feel like recording, I'll record. But if I have a couple of days where I don't feel like recording, I'm not going to pressure myself into doing that for the sake of hitting a schedule that really I'm the only person that is kind of enforcing that schedule anyway. So for now, I'm just going to record as and when I feel up to recording. And hopefully that's all right with you guys. I know it will be, but, you know, I've got to explain myself. So yeah, we're going to get on with some log deliveries. Now, let's chuck some fuel from this Defender into the Azov. Defender 90, my roof supplies. That empties out my roof supplies and gives the Azov a chance of getting down to the sawmill and back. Hopefully back. And then I'll just park this. Well, let's be a bit more neat than that. Why park it out here? I'm right next to the garage. Let's take it in and I can show you what I've also done. I'm going in the outdoor, but so around the corner here, in a nice neat little line, are the three trucks, the main three trucks that I moved down off camera. The Cat and Voron AE medium logging combo, and my friend the Tatra Force. So they're parked there. I'll put the Landy over here. And I'm not putting them in the garage for a minute, I'm just leaving them out, because they're pretty much all empty of fuel. Which is something I need to resolve before I finish Wisconsin. So we will use this to jump back into the Azov. And then what I'm going to be doing with the Azov is taking these down to... So through the rail production yard, across the railway track, down this side track into this sawmill. And we'll drop off these logs in that sawmill. And then the Azov will do 2 trips up into Black Badger, down here. I won't do that in this episode. I'm not going to focus on logging today. I'm just going to get this one done. Everything else I'll do today will stay on this map. Let's get on with that while I carry on talking. So, tour as we go through. There's the Kodiak, the Chevy Kodiak, which is pretty much empty. The Tatra Phoenix you could see there as a fuel truck with the trailer. I've got the Zix parked in here. I've ended up using 11 trucks on this map. When I started, I intended to not use so many. There's a step pike with a 5-slot trailer on board. And then the Ford is parked at the repair supply place in the railway station. So yeah, 11 trucks used on this map. And by now, if I'd have not stopped for 2 weeks, I think I would have probably finished Wisconsin. I expect 6 episodes in 2 weeks normally. Would have probably finished Wisconsin, which, quite timely, today I'm recording this on Tuesday the 28th of February, which is the day that the Year 3 Pass first DLC is released. So season 9 rebuild, restore something, I forget exactly the name of it, but it's Ontario, and season 9 has dropped and you guys are probably playing that. Just a word on that from my perspective, because I've fallen so far behind with Wisconsin and because I don't know my recording schedule particularly, I might end up only doing 1 video a week for a couple of weeks more. I am not planning on going to Ontario anytime soon. I might change my mind on that. If I have a few good days and I feel like playing, then I might. But at the moment, I'm going to focus on getting caught up and finish Wisconsin, because it's been impacted by my absence. And I wanted to be done with it by now, to be honest. And onto a Muir or Ontario. Ontario. Get that pronunciation right if I can. So, yeah, I'm going to focus Wisconsin and not go off and do Phase 9 stuff just yet. And I'll kind of wait and see from some reviews, some of the people I trust their reviews, like Tribe Called Cars and Mr. Lone Wolf. I'll see if the new trucks there are particularly worth getting, and if they are, I might go and get them. But I'm not doing it from a channel content perspective. I just need to get myself back on track with the stuff that's already in flight for me. Hopefully that makes sense. And we're just going to try and get back to it. And I know you'll bear with me, because I know you're all good, sensible people. Right, engine off, deliver these. Unload, and then we can craft 3 times 4, so we'll get 12 lots of wooden planks. Now, I think this is all of the planks that I'll need when I combine them with the 10 that are on the other map. I think 22 wooden planks is what I need, because it takes 24 to make the railway sleepers, and I've already got 2 lots of wooden planks in the railway manufacturing depot. So I think that'll be all the logs I need to do from a plank perspective. But you can also get medium logs on this map as an unlimited supply, and there's lots of wooden planks dotted around if I chose to do it that way. So I don't think I'll need to go back to Black Badger Lake for any logs for wooden plank reasons. I just need those 2 lots of mediums. All I'm going to do for a minute, though, is turn this. What's my fuel like at the moment? Pretty good, actually. Turn this around. I can do that without tipping it over. My favourite trailer. Everybody's favourite trailer, I think. Take this back out. It does need to go up into the other map as its next job, but I don't need to do it today. But I will get it back out more or less to the garage area. And then I think one of the things I need to do to allow me to make good progress is a fuel run on this map. Because as I've said, a lot of my stuff is dry, or pretty close to dry. So that'll mean the Phoenix plus its trailer coming down to the $2 fuel depot. So I'll be driving back down this road in a minute with the Phoenix. And I'm just toying with the idea of bringing the Kodiak on a rope and collecting an absolute boatload of fuel in one trip, which I suspect will finish the map for me. I want to make sure that those 11 trucks that I've brought are all full to the brim with fuel though before I garage them and retain them onto the next map. It's nice to be driving again. It took me a little bit to get my kind of eye back in with the steering wheel and the shifter and get myself back into it, but it is nice to be driving again. I think that's the main thing, is I still really enjoy this game. And I enjoy making videos. So maybe the couple of weeks break will probably have done me some good anyway. From what I've seen, the limited bit I've seen of Ontario, it's similar terrain to this. I don't think there's a lot of ice or snow there. It seems to be a green and black where it's been burnt out type of map. I don't know if I'm correct about that, but that's what it feels like from what I've seen. Right, I'm going to leave this. I thought I put my handbrake on there. I'm going to leave this here. And then we'll jump into the Phoenix, which I hope has got enough fuel to do this. I'm going to turn this trail around. That worked. And then I think I'll at least try taking the Kodiak with me, even if I only get it so far. There's a couple of thin bridges to cross. That's the biggest danger, really. But it would be nice if I could fill all 3 of these tanks up, wouldn't it? The tow hitch points aren't very good on this trailer, though. Don't know about that. Maybe the Kodiak in the front would be better. I'll have the Kodiak's engine on. And if this proves to be more trouble than it's... I disconnected the line then. If this proves to be more trouble than it's worth, I'll just drive them separately. But I should be able to get a bit of the way there. It's the same route that we just drove in the Azov. To a point, we go through the sawmill on to the next part of the destination. How's that Kodiak looking? Yeah, the positioning of the rope is a bit rough on that trailer. That's the bit that's going to cause me trouble, I think. Because the rope attachment point isn't on the actual rear of the trailer. Right, that's not going to work. Plan B. Kind of Egypt parks on a level crossing, eh? I'm going to put the Kodiak on the trailer and then tow them with the Phoenix. Oh, come on. I'm up it. Learning to drive again. I think that would be a more controlled way to tow this unit. Although my tow point is still not in a great position because it's the middle of the truck versus the side of the Kodiak, so we'll see. See how we do. So phase 9 dropping today also introduces the possibility of unpleasant bugs. And if you've been around a bit, if you've been around on this channel a bit, you'll know I had a lot of trouble when phase 8 dropped with bugs. And I think a lot of us had saves corrupted and issues with hard mode saves and so on. So hopefully that side of it's been fixed, but as usual, who knows what might have been introduced. I did notice that the game updated anyway with quite a large patch, even though I hadn't bought the year 3 pass yet. Just hadn't bothered until it released. And the game downloaded a big update whether you bought year 3 or not. So, and then when I bought year 3 season pass, it didn't download anything new. So I guess everybody gets the same download, and it's just a case of what's been unlocked in Steam or Epic or whichever platform you're on. So hopefully, I did have a quick look at the discussion thread and I didn't see any major bugs before I started recording. Right. Try not to drop these off this bridge. It's actually following in a fairly straight line considering that the tow rope is off to the side. Yep, we're all safely over the bridge. Put this into low high, so I've got a bit of diff lock for the climb. Driving out full of fuel is a bit more risky. Quite top heavy, these tanks. So this is the lumber yard that we were in just now. Right, I remind myself of where I have to go here. So I was pretty sure last time I did this was down here. That's a little bit gnarly on that bit, and then across this little bridge. Come in here. So left turn. I haven't looked into how you unlock the new trucks on phase 9 at all yet. At one point during PTS, I think I saw a comment from another content creator, it might have been Tribe Called Cars, that you were going to have to buy them. But whether that was just at that point in the PTS, you could buy them. I was hoping that the Kodiak would give me a little push, but the Kodiak's not in all-wheel drive. What can I get onto here? Anything? The winch points. We are creeping forward very slowly. There we go. So, picking up a bit. Yep. And then there's a task here that wasn't available the last time I came through because it's a dependency chain. So I'll just pick it up in terms of seeing what this task is. How'd you find me? Never mind, I think the government knows that I'm after them, so I had to move. But I can trust you. I've discovered paranormal activity again. Treetops mysteriously disappear at night in the spots I've marked. Please take a close look at the place. $4,200 to help somebody out with his conspiracy theory. Fair enough. Aliens. Not really going to knock it because we know there was an alien spaceship in Amur because we saw it when we went there to get the Zix. Right, there is somewhere here, there's a bridge. I think I just route it over this bank normally. Say normally, it's quite a while since I've driven down here. And then there's the bridge, so I'm going to pull this in on a tighter line. See if I can survive going over this bridge in convoy. That's following a fairly good line considering that the rope is off at an angle. But I do have to turn sharp left now. So the Kodiak's good. Question is the trailer going to be good if I make this turn? Probably go through those trees, can't I? I'm sure I did this last time. I'm sure I'm reinventing the wheel in terms of commentary. Because I think I had the same problem last time with trying to go through these trees. But it was a while ago and I can't remember. Got to get back full yet. This configuration is definitely the best combo for these 3 fuel tanks though. Phoenix leading, Kodiak with its fuel trailer on a rope attached. Can't quite remember whether it's left or right here. Don't think it matters actually. I think I'll go right and then come out. So I'll kind of loop around here, refill, and then come back out that way. And I don't have to turn them around in the loading area. Right, so engine off the Kodiak, drop a line on the Kodiak, and we'll fill this one up first. 67 litres I got here with, that's not too bad. $2 a litre. I love paying that money. Engine off, handbrake on, finish truck, and then fill these 2 up. Isn't that giving me an option to buy fuel? Weird. But that is now a lot of fuel in my possession. Thank you very much, sir. Change truck. On my engine. Get that winch back on and see how we do getting out with a full load. Now, something's weird. My winch attaching, I'm sure it's not a update thing, but my winch attaching feels wrong. It's probably just me being unfamiliar with the controls again. What time of day is it? Coming into late afternoon, early evening. See if we can get this back. I think low with diff lock through this sticky stuff is best. And skirt that bog as much as I can safely without a tip hazard. Slow going. See if I can get out of the ruts a little bit. Just got to watch for tree stumps. I seem to recall I tried cutting this corner ahead of me and went up the right and tipped over on a bank there, if I remember rightly. So I will try and stay on the ruts on this corner. Right, so between these trees, this is where I went on the way in, isn't it? See if I can go left enough to then line up on the bridge. Steer a little bit wide to give the Kodiak a chance and try and bring it back. How's that look? Kodiak is no, not quite. You know what, drop a line. Get the Phoenix over first. At least Phoenix is safe. Engine off. Not sure whether I should be good doing this to get back. But that would have avoided some of that boggy mess. Probably. Change truck. And then back Kodiak off so I can line it up better. Change truck again. I think I am going to try that side route rather than going through the yard. See if it avoids that muddy bog that I got a little bit stuck in on the way in. Let's see about hanging a sharp left here now. It's just a different muddy bog though. A little bit better. Ooh. A little bit better, he says. Tip the Kodiak over. Nope. We did not want to do that. That is going to be a little bit difficult to get back on its wheels. I wonder if I can just try. Oh, it's moonwalking uphill. So that physics glitch hasn't changed. Look at it, look. Right, I'm just going to see if there's any way I can be a bit lucky and have it come back on its wheels. That trailer's a lot of weight, isn't it? Oh! Oh well. First episode back after 2 weeks of absence. I'm bound to drop it. That's a little bit of a nightmare. I might need the Zix for this. Because I haven't really got the best off-road mud truck anyway. Let me just try. If I disconnect the trailer, it's just going to go right over. But I then change truck again. I think that trailer will be easier to get on its wheels. Oopsie. And then if I haven't got the weight of the trailer holding the Kodiak in place, it might move. It's difficult enough to move the horse in this mud. Right. Okay. New plan. Let's bring the Zix. So step one, let's get the Phoenix out. Come on, mate, you're coming with me. Put your engine on. At least get the Phoenix safe out of that mud. Bring it far enough that I can get past it. That'll do. Turn its engine off, drop a line, go past it on the left, and we get the Kodiak back on its wheels. Yeah, it's a bit of a gnarly mess, this little bit, isn't it? So there's a new game update, and there's also, I've just updated my AMD drivers, and I've still, with the AMD graphics card, got that spiky terrain problem. They're just confirming that it's not fixed by either the game update or the AMD driver update. I kind of wish I had an NVIDIA card, really. It's the only game that I have a problem, though, with that AMD. Right. So that's the Kodiak on its wheels. Try not to knock it over at late. Fuel shenanigans. Obviously, the fuel is half the price. Oh, see, that's just me being an idiot, isn't it? Whatever. We'll drag it. Just drag it up the hill. The fuel is half the price here to what I was paying on 2 of the fuel stations on the other map. But a lot more effort to get it. Try and get this back on its wheels somehow. It's a bit of a more awkward position. This Kodiak's not a particularly tippy truck, but I guess it's a lot of fuel up high. Come on, just pop over on your wheels for me. You can do it, love. Come on. You can do it. Well, you can't do it. You could do it if you wanted to, couldn't you? Alright. I need to go back to driving school. 2 weeks is obviously too long. Right, now I'm leaning against this tree. This will be easy, right? There's got no choice. My engine off. Engine to the Kodiak. Turn its engine on. Kodiak can catch up to the Phoenix. And then what I'm going to do is drive the Phoenix and Kodiak out. And then let the Zix deal with the trailer separately. But try not to tip them over again. Just makes sense to have the Zix following up just in case. Bit of a palaver, but I think that these 3 tanks full will be enough fuel for me to finish Wisconsin. And hopefully fill my fleet. I think the Cat would be a beaut for going down and doing that fuel run though. That may be the play in future. Something that'll just chew through that mud and not even notice it. Well, I looned it over that, didn't I? Confident that it was going to line up alright. So I am wondering if they've changed something with the tow rope dynamic. Because normally I would expect tow rope in the middle of the front vehicle off to the very quite far left side of the Kodiak. I would expect the Kodiak to be following, like the rope would be a straight line, and therefore the Kodiak would be offset to the right by quite a lot. Half of its width effectively, but they are following on a pretty straight track, and I've never noticed them do that before. So I am wondering if they've changed something in the tow rope mechanic, which would be most welcome, because if you think about it, I know there isn't animation of a driver in that Kodiak, but if you look at it there, I can see it carefully. The steering wheel is turning as it, you know, it turns, it drives, it follows. So it is like there's an AI driver in that Kodiak. And if there's an AI driver, or if it's a real driver and you're doing this in the real world, the towed vehicle would drive a straight line even if it has got a offset rope. So if they've done that, that is a welcome change for me. I haven't read any patch notes, I haven't played any PTS, I'm not sure what was planned in this other than there's the Phase 9 update, but they always put fixes and changes into the base game at the same time. Ooh, it dropped the rope because the engine stalled. I'm in auto though. Right, engine off on the Kodiak. Leave the Kodiak there, because it might go down to the railway station again, depending on where I have to load and unload items. Phoenix can stay there, and the only thing left to do is with the Zix. Get this trailer. And remember for future that this is a boggy pit. I'm just going to put this on the tow hitch for now, because quite often the trailers will jump onto their wheels a bit easier. He says. Not doing it though, is it? Oh, it's thought about it that time. Thought about bouncing over. Come on, you can do it. You know you want to. Zix doesn't care. It's just going. Alright, I'll stop playing silly buggers. Right, get this onto there. And then... there you go. Also going to refuel. And for now, because I have to come in here and load up wooden planks, I think I'll leave this rig here anyway, till I know that I'm done on this side of the map, because then I've got a good spread of fuel locations. So that's going to be it for my return episode, if you like. And again, if you're on playback, this doesn't matter, but for those of you that have been following real time, thank you very much for coming back after a 2-week gap. Thank you very much for watching the episode, getting to the end. That's much appreciated. I appreciate the support as well. The kind comments on my community posts very much helped me through what's been going on for me. I'm glad to be back. I will try to ramp up to the same schedule I was on before. 3 SnowRunner and 1 Satisfactory. But for a while it may be just 1 episode a week, maybe of each game. We'll see how we do. But SnowRunner is my priority because I want to get Wisconsin finished. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope to see you in the next one, where we will be pretty well set up now. We've got all of the trucks on this map. We've got plenty of fuel on this map. And we're now good to go. I'm probably going to focus on the railway stuff first, rather than the other tasks. But yeah, I'll see. So I hope to see you in the next one. But in the meantime, thank you very much and goodbye.